Welcome back, everyone. We get to finally talk about a device that I don't think anybody even really wants to search up anymore. I don't even know why I'm making this video, but I know there's probably like 300 to 400 people that might be interested in this. So we're going to be talking about the original Google Home and seeing how it holds up in 2020. Now, there's not a lot that really goes around this device. There's no screens. There's no like crazy processors. I mean, there's a processor in it, but there's nothing, like with a phone, you can talk so much about it. But with this thing, it's pretty much limited to the software that's built into it because, this thing, especially even with things like the HomePod, Amazon's little Echo Dot, whatever they have, those things are all situated around voice assistants. And I think that's definitely the future. That's definitely the way we're going. But I think as of where it stands right now, there's not a lot that I would personally utilize these things for. And that's not in a bad way. There's tons of features for all these things and things that, people use these things for on their daily basis, which is so cool. And before I even get too far into this, I want to hear how you use a Google Home or a HomePod or whatever on your daily life. Do you use them as speakers? Do you use them for an everyday basis? Like, I really want to know because I think there's still a huge demand for these things. And what I'm going to explain in this video are my opinions. And, it's probably not right. But I do think the Google Home is actually a really cool, decent thing. It's not the only one. Like I said, we have HomePods and Amazon's offerings, but it is a virtual assistant at the end of the day. And I still think it holds, value in 2020 for sure. Now, I think since then, Google has rebranded the Google Home thing to Google Nest or Nest Home or something like that. So these are the models before they switched over to that, which I don't even think they switched anything up. Maybe they did, but this is the naming of what they had before. And it still has tons of features for sure, but here's the thing. I believe that a lot of the things that you do on a Google Home or any of these virtual assistants can actually be replicated for the most part on our phones. And I think that's something that, a lot of people already know. And they're like, oh, I don't want to go pick up something else if I just already have it on my phone. There's really no point in doing it. I can just hold down my phone or squeeze my phone or whatever in order to get to Google Assistant or get into Siri or get into whatever and be able to just, utilize the phone that way. Now, looking around the Google Home, I still think it looks pretty cool. It looks like kind of like a teardrop kind of thing, which is kind of funny. You have one port on the back. On the top of the Google Home, we have this little screen thing, which is not really a screen, but it kind of is at the same time. And it just kind of, when you turn it on for the first time, you have the Google logo, which is really cool. And you do get some capability, if you want to turn up the volume or turn down the volume, you can circle your finger around the top and kind of get through that way, which is kind of cool. You can also just tell Google Home, to turn down the volume, which is something you can also do. But having that little like pixelated screen on the top is better than nothing. And I think that's actually pretty cool. Now, the main thing I would personally use the Google Home for was pretty much to play music or songs. So, if I want to say like, hey, Google, like play some lo-fi beats or something like that, then it would just kind of go on a playlist of playing those songs, which is really cool. And you don't have to sign into like Spotify or anything like that. But if you do, you are able to say, hey, Google, play this on Spotify or something like that. You can then unlock, Spotify or Apple Music or whatever things you're able to connect to on the Google Home. You're able to play those songs through it too. But I think most of the time it just plays it through the Google Play Music app or whatever it is. So that's pretty much the main thing I would use it for. Sometimes I would ask it for the weather, things like that, but at the end of the day, there were simple things like, oh, tell me what happened today or tell me the news or something. And it can tell you the news, but most of the time, I don't know, like most of the time I already went on Reddit for that day. I already kind of researched some stuff. So I already kind of know for the most part what's going on, especially now we have the whole situation we're in. So by the time you get downstairs, you get to your house and you ask Google what's going on, you kind of already heard about some of the major things that have been going on. But it's still a really cool feature that you have the capability for doing it. Now, like I said, there are tons of commands for this thing. It has the Google Assistant built in, so whatever you want to ask Google Assistant, you can pretty much get through with this. And here's the thing, I still think this Google Home sounds more normal than Siri, which, I still want to make a video about Siri versus Google Assistant. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. But Google Assistant, I don't know, sounds a little bit better for me. I don't really know why. Now, most of the people I know, they usually set their Google Homes for reminders or alarms or something like that. So they'll ask Google like, oh, can you set an alarm for 6 in the a.m. or 6 in the morning or something? I don't know, 6 in the a.m. Or they'll say, hey, set a reminder in 10 minutes. I got to take the cookies out or something. Like that's basically the main things that I saw a lot of other people set their things for Google Home, which is still really cool. That's really, really awesome. Sometimes people forget to set an alarm and their phone's across the room and they're whatever. So they're just like, hey, Google, like set an alarm for 7 in the morning. And then Google will set an alarm. And I think that's really cool. And like I said, there are a ton of features built into this thing, and there may be things that the Google Home can do that our phones can't, but I think for the most part, if you have a phone, if you're not even using the Google Assistant or Siri on your phone, then you might not be able to utilize the Google Home to its full potential, in my opinion. So I think for sure, it's not a necessity, but I think, if you're in the virtual assistant kind of game, then I would recommend it, dude. I think it's really cool for the most part. So I think in 2020, it still definitely holds a lot of value for sure. So that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate you guys to check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.